Hello, CS family. Welcome back to my channel, Chantel Stuff. It's your girl, Audra Chantel here, your hostess with the mostest, back with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I drop a video. Hopefully, everybody is doing all right today. On today, I just wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about living with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. So, let me just tell you a little bit about how I got it. So I was on statin drugs for about 20 years. I'm going to say it was over 20 years. The statin drugs were for the high cholesterol that I was dealing with. Before I lost the weight, I had, like I told you before, I was on like about 13 pills a day, but I had high cholesterol. And so that put me in high risk for heart attack and stroke. So they put me on statin drugs. I was on several statin drugs. I think maybe about 3 different types. But for a little bit over 20 years, and one of the side effects was that I acquired irritable bowel syndrome, the IBS. So living with that has been, let's just say, it's just been difficult, right? Some of my favorite things to eat is raw fruit and raw vegetables. I mean, it's just some of my favorite stuff to eat. Come from like a country family that had like huge gardens, and just, when we were growing up, it was like almost fruit trees were just, would grow even wild on the railroad tracks, but everybody, they had them like along the railroad tracks. I told you my mouth don't want to say certain stuff, and this morning it doesn't want to say railroad. But anyway, along the tracks, it used to be fruit trees and fruit bushes, and all of our neighbors would have all kinds of like fruit trees and stuff like that, and we would they would allow us to go into their yards and have whatever fruit we wanted and all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of grew up with that type of lifestyle. We also had a fruit market that was like literally like we would go behind our house to the alley and go down the alley, and right at the end of that alley it was a fruit market. And so we used to love to walk down there and buy fruit and go down there with our mother and all that kind of stuff. But I love to eat that type of stuff, but it really hurts my stomach, like seriously bad. It starts to cramp, and it contracts. It goes into like spasms, and the muscle spasms and stuff like that in my, I'm saying my stomach, but it's actually my bowels, because whenever it's down low, you instantly say, oh, my stomach, but it's actually my bowels that give me the issues. And it sucks because that's some of my favorite foods to eat. Some of the things that I do to help ease the pain, like with the vegetables, if I like steam them, or saute them, a lot of the times it won't give me as much trouble. Some things I had to just cut out of my diet, like broccoli and cauliflower. I seriously just don't eat it. Like, it's very, very, very rare occasion that I will even put a piece in my mouth because I'm scared. Because usually I have a huge reaction to those. So, and it's not good. So I typically try to eliminate that from my diet. But, and again, it sucks because I love broccoli and cauliflower. It's just some of my, I don't know. I got a lot of favorites when it comes down to vegetables and fruit, but I really enjoy eating it, but I can't because of the irritable bowel syndrome, so the IBS. But so it's really changed a lot about, my lifestyle, and my diet. I have to really watch everything. And with the fruit, and I like to have fruit with every meal. I don't take a lot of vitamins and things like that, a lot of supplements. Like I said, I had all those pills before, and down to just the one pill for my thyroid. So it's like I literally just can't stand taking pills, and especially with being burned like I have, now dealing with the IBS because of the medications that I was on before. So I just really don't trust pills and medication and stuff like that. I know God has blessed us in some areas where, some of these medications do, help us and do keep us living. But I tell you what, some of them, cause a lot of bad side effects and make me nervous. So I don't trust a lot of things, but that's why I don't like to take them. But so with the vitamins and all of that, I don't know what they're putting in that stuff. So I try to get it the natural way, from what is growing out of the earth. So I go in on the vegetables and the fruit and stuff like that. So I try to have fruit with every meal just to make sure that I'm getting enough, of what I need in my body. I like to eat a lot of greens and, you know, if it's collard greens, cabbages, you know, different, you know, things like that, salads, and, you know, so I like the lettuce and all of that. But again, that the lettuce, now when I'm eating the raw salad and stuff like that, it does bother my stomach or my bowels pretty good. So I try to go as many days as I can, and then when it starts to hurt, I stop. You know, I slow down on eating, or I stop eating it for, you know, several weeks. That's just kind of how I have to play it. I eat it until it hurts. Like if it hurts, I stop. And when it stops hurting, after I get brave enough, I'll go back into it. But when I do my greens and cabbages and different things like that, well, you know, I'm boiling that. So it's either going to be boiled or steamed, and usually it doesn't give me a lot of issues as long as I don't like really go in, you know, and eat way too much, way too many days in a row. But typically I'm okay with it, especially collard greens. I could easily eat those for like a week straight, but before I have any issues. And one thing that, you know, is good with the vegetables and all in the fruit and the raw vegetables and fruit, it keeps me regular. Like, I mean, and I love that, because if I'm not, you know, eating those things and I don't have them in my diet, well then I'm taking the Clearlax, or, you know, the Miralax or whatever. I use the Clearlax because it's cheaper. It's generic. You can get it at Walmart or Kroger or wherever. You know, a lot of people have a spinoff of the name brands anyway. So the Miralax, usually Clearlax is what it is. So I would have to have that every night, you know, and sometimes I would have to do 2 a days, because I mean, if I don't have what I need in my diet, like the bowels won't move. And I mean, it's horrible. So also an issue that I've been having because of the IBS is that the front part of my intestine, so in the front part of my intestine, has been holding, you know, the stool. So it won't, you know, process through. So it's, when I say it's crazy, it's been crazy living with this stuff. I found ways to, you know, make things work. So I mean, I have to suffer a little bit in order for my my bowels to work properly. So I just have to go through a little bit of the pain, because I have got to get in the vegetables and the fruit in order for everything to function properly. And like I said, also I use the Clearlax. So, but living with, you know, IBS is no fun. You know what I mean? It's hard, but it's doable. You know, we tend to adapt. That's just how God made us. We tend to adapt to things, and we'll find a way to make it happen. But those are some of the things that I do. It's not a whole lot of things that I, you know, a whole lot of ideas that I have. It's just simply, if it hurts me, I don't do it. I'll find a different way to, you know, to cook the food or things like that. Or some things unfortunately, I have to just eliminate from my diet altogether. So I just thought that I would get on here and share a little bit of that, because I tell you what, I talk to a lot of people, because yeah, no, I'm a talker, but I've encountered a lot of people that deal with IBS, like that's dealing with the same thing and having the same issues. And, you know, and so we kind of swap stories and just let each other know, you know, what are we doing, you know, to help ourselves, or to live with it, to just make it more manageable. So I thought I would get on and say those few things. And literally, it's simply, you know, try to cook it your food a different way, or sometimes you'll have to, you know, eat it in, of course, in smaller increments, or you would have to go, you know, bi-weekly, or, you know, just hit it every other month or something, you know, kind of change it up. Or, you know, unfortunately, you have to eliminate some of those things. But I thought that I might share that with you today. Hopefully this video lifted somebody up. Hopefully this video made somebody feel better. Please share this video with anyone and everyone. And I will see you all on the next video. Deuces.